How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskey. Today we are at Liquor and Smoke City. This is a pretty busy liquor store. It seems to be frequented by a lot of people. And the reason I know that is because a lot of people recommended it to me, both on Instagram. I had some Patreon members telling me to come here, even comments on the YouTube video. So I've personally never been in this store. I passed it plenty of times. I hear that they have a pretty good selection. And this past weekend, they actually did an Eagle Rare store pick. So they had a single barrel of that. That sold out pretty quick. I wasn't able to grab that, but I'm pretty excited to hop in this store, see what they have on the shelves, because it's always fun coming to a new store. So we'll see you inside. All right, y'all, so we're gonna start off, before we even go and talk about the shelf, we got all of their store picks here laid out, some of them for us to taste: a Clyde Mays, an Eagle Rare, a Buffalo Trace, the Fighting. This is an Irish whiskey pick, and a Knob Creek. And these are ones that aren't open, but these are also available store picks in store. You have a Blue Note, which are always solid, your Breckenridge, Uncle Near's single barrel. These guys I heard are phenomenal. Haven't tasted one yet, but might come home with me. And then a Mezcal pick, which is also the first that I've seen in a local store here. I've seen a tequila pick, but never a mezcal.
Cognac cask with it, so that was a double barrel finish.
Port and cognac cask, so double finish, Irish whiskey. We're gonna start out Irish, the lightest. I actually started out on Irish whiskey when I got into the whiskey game, period. It's not bad. Irish whiskey is something I started out, but again, you're talking lighter whiskey, so you kind of get a little bit of that malty pot still. If you're into that, if you like Irish whiskeys, this is a really good Irish, I will say that. I started on like Bushmills and Jameson, so way cheaper than this stuff. Next up, we're gonna try their Knob single barrel pick, coming in at 120 proof, like always, 120 proof Knob. Y'all know I'm not the biggest Knob guy. Smell this though, it doesn't smell like Knob. I don't get that barrel note, it's just sweet.
Yeah, it smells sweet, it smells great.
Pretty good. It's definitely peanut butter heavy, but not like the typical sour note I get off of Knob Creek. It's actually really sweet, like a peanut butter. I don't hate it. I'll be honest with you, I don't hate it. Now we're gonna dig into good stuff. Buffalo Trace. However, I do want to point out, these are sold out. They don't have any more of their Buffalo Trace picks or their Eagle Rare pick, but this is to show you they get it in, okay? There's more to come. And now you'll get to see what kind of picks they pick. That's the money right there. That is one of the better, if not best, Buffalo single barrels that I've had, period. That's really good. The nose on this, even Jaron, he made a face. It was like so good. Dang.
I made a face in a positive way, for the record.
I'll do it one of these days.
All right, so now this is a pick that they got in December, again sold out, but they called this one the Wingman, and the owner just told me it was because there was I guess a drunk driver at 2 a.m. had drove through their store and crashed into their beer carts over there in the back. And they were like, when we're coming up with a sticker, we were that guy's wingman that night. That's pretty funny. The nose on this, like, it smells like butterscotch, right?
Through and through.
Yeah. Nothing wrong, dude. That's so good. So good. And they actually picked this in Kentucky. They went to Kentucky to pick it. A lot of times distillery will select one. They got to hand pick this. This is just so awesome. Brown sugar all day long. I love it, like pancakes. And then the last that we're gonna get to taste is this Clyde Mays single barrel, aged 5 years, coming in at 102 proof. So I think this would be a pretty solid single barrel if you haven't really, if you're getting into whiskey and you're looking for something not too high proof, because a lot of times you'll find single barrels that are really high proof. These are probably more readily available to find than the Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare. Clyde Mays, aged in Arkansas too, or it's an Arkansas distillery. Yeah, that's good. You know, it reminds me a good bit of the craft distilleries that I try. I really like it. I will say this, similar to that nutty profile that you get from a barrel, but not as much as the nuttiness that comes off of knobs. That's actually much more sweet. You get a sweet oak off of it. It's really tasty. It's actually really good. I've never had Clyde Mays before.
I get a little bit of sweet tart.
Mm-hmm. little bit of sweet tart, but I want to say this is under $50 for a store pick. You can't beat that. These are all very tasty. Okay, cool. Yeah, Aqua Vitae. This is Aqua Vitae single barrel pick. They hosted the store. The store hosted them to hold their single barrel for them. I'm gonna buy this. So that was the deal. We made a little deal just now. We'll crack this so we could try it. I'm gonna buy it regardless, but I've heard nothing but good things about these Alconeras. Cheers. Yeah.
My healthcare costs. No, you're the healthcare.
You made me so happy, by the way.
That's so good. Not mad about that. Not mad that we cracked that at all. That is so good. Out of all these, it has the best finish to me. The longest finish. I don't know, what's the proof on this? 119? There's no way. It doesn't sip like 119. It sips like 100 proofer. That's so good. So now we're going to talk about what I think is the most important part of a store. That's the shelf, right? I know we all hunt for allocations. I do as well. I love my allocations. I love the good juice that you can't find all the time. However, I promise you, we're going to show you some stuff that's on the shelf right now. You need to come get it, okay? You need to come get it. We're going to talk about things too that maybe it's just things you need to try. You might need to not come get right now, but let's talk about it. So starting off, we have 291, a local Colorado Springs distillery here. They produce good whiskey, guys. You either love it or hate it. It's pretty much what I've seen in the whiskey community. This E selection, and they don't have it right now, but the M selection, finished in maple barrels, I put that up against anything. It is so good. All around here, you have Colorado distilleries, right? Local stuff. Come out, check out what it is. This is all Colorado juice. You know, in a couple videos, I passed up a Rye 3. I'm not sure if this is the exact one that someone recommended I get, but is this the one that I missed? Is this the one that I need to be chasing? You guys let me know. $54.99 for this. Pretty solid price. And you're going to see that pretty much across the whole store. Just great prices all around. Clyde Mays, you just saw me try this. I'm pretty good. We're getting pretty good at my jab. I say it's right around $50. $49.99 on the shelf. Definitely recommend you come get this. I loved it. I really did. Definitely preferred it over the knob. Moving on to, you have a great smoke wagon selection along with great prices. It's just such a phenomenal smoke wagon selection. Shout out to Joe for giving me these two bottles. I have these on my shelf. I actually like both of the Ryes a lot. Joe wasn't crazy over them, but I really like them. Dexter Wheat, guys. We need to talk about this because I feel like a lot of people sleep on this bottle. Not even sleep. Can't find this bottle. That's key. Dexter Wheat is so good. It's one that I've had on my shelf for a while. Recommend it to buddies. Real big fan of Dexter. And I promise you, if you go out to a lot of these stores here locally, you won't be able to find this great label. $69.99 is cheaper than what I bought it for. And they have a few of them here. If you like wheat bourbons, this is different. It's unique, but you still get some of that wheat similarity. I love it. I love it. Barrel. They have the Barrel Seagrass, the Dovetail, the Cash Stream, and the Vantage. I thought that this one might have been a honey barrel, but I posted on Patreon before we started filming. I said, quick, I need answers. Is this the one I need to get? This is batch 34 of the Barrel Cash Stream. People told me it was 31 and 35. That's the really good one. But if you're a big fan of batch 34, just barrel in general, they have the Cash Stream here. And it's $78.99. That's also pretty cheap compared to what I've seen it around like 90 to 100. So that's a great price. Now moving on, any of you Jefferson's fans, they have the Jefferson's Tropics. They have a lot of it. They at least have a case, $99.99. You know, when this came out, I heard a lot, a good bit of hype around it. Haven't really heard much since. If you've tried a Jefferson's Tropics, do you think it's worth $99.99? That's a great price. That's solid. That's what it should be. But I'm just curious, is this a $100 bottle to you? If you tasted it, let me know. Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond coming at $52.99. Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond is just, it's solid. If you don't have one and you're willing to spend 50 to 60 bucks, this is a solid one because it's 7 years old, 100 proof. Bottled and Bond coming out of Heaven Hill. It's just good. To be honest with you, I'm not the biggest Heaven Hill Distillery fan per se. I like some of their Elijah Craig barrel proof picks, but this Bottled and Bond is one of my go-tos. I always have it on the shelf just because it's so tasty. I really do enjoy it. And then right next to it, let's talk real quick too. Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel coming in at $54.99. These are actually now finally getting a little more common to see. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch A. Now, I gotta check. Do we have a C? No. They're all A. I love Elijah Craig, C923. However, the A123 was a close second in regards to what they released in the past year. It's just so good, $74.99, another amazing price. Now, Good Times Apple Brandy Rye. I don't know if I followed a page or what happened. I'm getting bombarded on Facebook with good times like this. I don't know what it is, but anytime I open Facebook, there's always an ad for Good Times. Is this any good? It's like, it's $100, $99.99. Have any of you tried Good Times? Is it worth the hype? Is there even a hype around it? Like, what is this whiskey? Let me know. But this is a Colorado Select of their whiskey. And then this is one that I want to get y'all's opinions in the comments. Have any of you had the Representative or the Senator? I feel like I've seen this posted in a lot of Facebook pages or Instagram pages. That's something I don't know a lot about. So if you know something about it, if you know I should have bought this, just let me know. Boom, here we go. I'm gonna hug this post while I tell you about these because these Now I'm gonna hug this post while I tell you about these whiskeys because these are a must buy. Starting off with the Redwood Empire Emerald Giant Cash Strength, $71.99. Don't think you're finding a better price anywhere. Then we're gonna get into the Lost Monarch Cash Strength, $71.99. My personal favorite out of the cash strings, the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream at $71.99. Now, can I be quite honest with you? These are all phenomenal, but my absolute favorite that is coming home with me is the Redwood Empire Grizzly Beast. This is probably my favorite bottled and bond whiskey I've ever had. I know, hot take. I put them against blinds, right? This is just phenomenal whiskey, guys. So this is one that's coming home with me. Hard to find it on the shelf, hard to beat that price. $79.99 Grizzly Beast. If you haven't had it, you need to try it. Moving on now to a great Bardstown selection. Some of these I have no idea, and I guarantee there has to be one of these series in here that y'all are gonna tell me, you should have bought that, why didn't you buy that? Tell me which one, I'll come back, I'll get it. Bardstown Rye, I'm telling you, if you're not a rye drinker, if you wanna get into rye, or if you are a rye drinker, this Bardstown Origin Series Rye, it's just so good. Every time I've had it, absolutely love it. Coming in at $67 as well, so I guess it's considered a little higher end, but you won't be disappointed by that price if you try it. You have your bottled and bond Origin Series, your Fusion. Oh, this is the straight bourbon, excuse me, your Fusion. Now look, these are the ones I'm talking about. Series 10, Series 11, $137.99. I know some of you might know a little bit more of the Bardstown than I do, but is that something I should have picked up? I don't know, let me know. Then coming down here, this is one of my favorite whiskeys that I tried last year. I fell in love with Nulu because of this bottle, the Nulu and Amburana barrels. If you're looking for that Penelope, Rio, anything finished with that cinnamon toast crunch that you hear a lot of people talk about, this is what it is. Amburana is a Brazilian wood, and it really brings out that cinnamon, caramel. It's a lot of great flavors in a whiskey, $99.99. And right next to it, they also have the Nulu Toasted, which is also quite phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of everything that Nulu does. I try to talk to them as much as I can on Instagram, see what kind of experiments they're doing, because they just really produce such a great whiskey for a great price. Larceny Barrel Proof on the shelf here, guys. A123. I know a lot of you like to watch Fred Minnick. This made one of his, I believe, top 10 of the year, batch A and C. So they have it on the shelf, $65.99. Such a great price. We've come to you to interrupt. You can get a Blanton's MSRP right now. Shout out to the store owner for letting me do this. I'm not going to tell you where this at in the store, but just know it's behind Canadian Club. Also, buy a handle of this. If you want Blanton's, just get that with it. It's just as good, right? Totally kidding. But anyway, come get it. Now, Blue Note pick. You can't go wrong with Blue Note Juke Joint. They have them here on the shelf, $42.99. Great Horse Soldier selection right under it as well. A few more things to talk about, promise. Bonded Rye, Bonded, Triple Mash, all three Jack Daniels here. They also have The single barrel proof, coming in at 128.8 proof for $62.99. I'm gonna leave all of these on the shelf for you, okay? I'm personally not a fan, and a lot of people were a little offended that I wasn't a fan, but that's okay. We all have different palates. Nom Creek 12, though, I know a lot of you like it or have been looking for it. They have plenty of it here. $69.99. Just let them know Whiskier sent you, okay? Now look, we hit a bottle of Blanton's somewhere in the store. I told you what it was behind. Didn't tell you exactly where it was, but make it down here. Don't only just grab that Blanton's, but grab something else too. And look, my cameraman is going home with this larger than a baby 1.75 Eagle Rare. I mean, look at it. It's bigger than my head. Also kind of crazy because he's been looking for one of these for a while, and the store owner actually just so happened to hide one of these out on the shelf. So we're going home with this today, cameraman is, but there's a Blanton's out here for you, okay? Come get it. Come get some of the other juice. Let them know Whiskier sent you. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.